Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to day 7 scatter plots, and this is the final lesson of this unit. Hopefully you have enjoyed learning about probability and statistics. We're going to end today with looking at scatter plots. Okay, don't know what comes to your mind when you hear the word scatter, right? The word scatter is kind of like it is distributed, it is spread out, right? It's scattered around, and so in scatter plots, that's exactly what we have. We're going to have, this is another way of graphing data where the points are plotted on sort of one quadrant of a coordinate plane. And then what you have to do is you want to try to see if there's some relationship between the data. We're going to talk more about it here in just a minute. But scatter plots is a graph, a way of plotting and displaying data. All right, so let's get into it. All right, by the end of today's lesson, you're going to be able to, recognize the relationship between a set of data and determine what is the line of best fit, aka what is the slope or the line that best, corresponds to a set of data. All right, so in your notes, a scatter plot is a graph used to determine whether there is a relationship between two sets of data. All right, so we're looking at two sets of data. In our first example, we have temperatures and then we have people at the beach. Okay, and so what we want to see is there some relationship between the temperatures and the people at the beach? All right, and so what we're going to do is we are going to take this data and we are going to put it on the graph. All right, so to do this, again, most of the times the problem is you'll see your axes will already be labeled. In this case, I'm going to label them for you. So we're going to start with 60 and we're just counting by fives. So 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90, 95, 100, and then 105. All right. And then on the y-axis, the smallest number we have is 2 and 3, so I'm going to start. I'm going to start with actually I'm going to start with 3 here, and I'm going to count by threes. Okay, so because I don't have enough lines to go from 2 all the way to 25, so I'm going to count by threes. So 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, and 27, and 30. All right, so we have our scatter plot labeled. Now it's just time to graph the points. All right, you don't need me to do that. You go ahead and graph these points on your own. At 70 is 10, so 10 is about right there. It is okay if your points aren't exactly right. At 75, the temperature 75, there's 15 people. All right, at 95, there are 24. Okay. At 90, there are 20 people. At 88, there's 24. 88 will be about right here. Or there's 25 rather. 88, 25. Okay. At 80, there's 19. At 65, there's 3. And then at 60, there's just 2. Okay, so here are each of our points graphed. All right, and so there's 3 types of relationships. We're going to come back and talk about what type of relationship this is. But before we do that, you need to know that there's 3 types of relationships or correlations. Okay, and again, if you remember this from our last unit in functions, these are exactly the same, right? So when a when the data is moving up to the right, so as you're going from left to right, if it's moving up into the right, if it's going up into the right, that is a positive relationship, okay? So positive, as it moves from left to right, it is increasing, okay? The values are increasing, okay? The opposite, as you go from left to right, when the values are going down, when you're going to the right, it is a negative relationship. And then what you will see is, so you see most of these points are kind of somewhat close together. They're not like obviously in a straight line like when we were doing slope and functions, but you see, generally they're all kind of in this kind of line moving in this direction. Same thing with negative, right? They're kind of jumbled together, they're scattered, but there's some relationship. Over here, we see that these points are just kind of everywhere. There's no line, right, that you could make out of those points. That would be a straight line. So here is just no relationship, all right? So the last note that we need to go here is, so when you have a scatter plot, oftentimes questions are going to ask you, what is the line of best fit? So the line of best fit is a line through the scatter plot of the data points that best expresses the relationship between those points, okay? So the line of best fit, again, for this one, it would be somewhere like that, right? Again, where it kind of pulls in all of the points is somewhere kind of in the middle. So somewhere like the line of best fit would be somewhere like that. In this case, there's no line of best fit, right? The points are scattered, so there's no line of best fit, all right? So, guys, those are really the main things that you need to know about scatter plots. So if I was to go back to that very first one we did, okay, we have our plots pointed. The line of best fit would be, I'll change the color here. It would be somewhere right there, right? Where it kind of pulls in. It is in between all of the points, and it kind of pulls them all together. That's kind of the line of best fit, all right? Now, so again, guys, that's really it, right, with scatter plots. With scatter plots, we're just going to need to know, what is the relationship? Is it positive? Is it negative? Or is there no relationship? Again, that is the same as what we did with functions. Okay, so again, increasing, going up, it is positive, going down is negative. And then lastly, being able to kind of figure out, okay, which line is the line of best fit? And the line of best fit is the line that usually is somewhere in the middle, right, between all of our data. Okay, and so we're gonna practice this in the remainder of our lesson, and then even after this, I have some examples for you to do. All right, so let's move on. All right, so okay. All right, so questions, this is just some time to practice. So I want you to go ahead, I've labeled the axes for you. I want you to go ahead and plot these points on your graph. Then we're gonna answer some questions about them, all right? So this is your practice. Just use the notes that we just took and kind of help you, but this should be pretty straightforward. All right, miles from city and cost of rent. Okay, so the two sets of data that we're looking at here is we have the miles from the city and then the cost of the rent. All right, so go ahead and graph these points. All right, we got 14 and 975. 14. Would be, as you are doing this, again, it is okay if your points aren't perfect. You know, with these scatter plots, we're just wanting to see roughly where they are. All right, at 20, we got 900. 20, 900. All right, 10, we got 1,000. Okay, 5, we got 1,400. 5, 1,400. 8, we got 12, 1,250. Oh no. Snaps. Okay, hold on, I moved my, okay, there we go. Oh no. Shifted my stuff. All right, well, I gotta start that over. Okay, gotta remember not to move them. All right, so you can fast forward past this part. 14,975, 14,975. Okay, then 20,900. Yeah, there. 10, 1,000. 14, 5, 14, 5, 5 is 14. 8, there's 12, 1,250. 1 is 1,500. 3, 14, 1,475. Oh, that should be close over there. And then 28, there's 800. All right, boom. Okay, so you got your points. Sorry that took forever. Now it says sketch the line of best fit on the graph. So again, we have these points. Now we just need to sketch a line of best fit. And again, the line of best fit is going to be where it kind of goes through. And again, it has to be a straight line. Line of best fit can't, it should be just a straight diagonal line. And the line of best fit would be kind of somewhere in the middle, where it's in the middle of all of the points, all right? So the line of best fit would roughly be something like that, all right? Which type of relationship is shown? Well, our points, as they are, going to the right, they are decreasing in value, and so that is a negative relationship, all right? And then if the rent is $850, okay, how far do you think it's from the city? Okay, well, 850 is somewhere down here. So it would be between, right? If it's 850, it would be somewhere between here, right? You would think it would be. So I would say, probably somewhere like 23 miles. Again, because we don't know, I'd say, we could say exactly 23 miles, or we could put 22 to 25, something like that. We think it would be in between 20. The answer key says 23. But anywhere between 22, 23, or 22 through 25, I know it should fall somewhere between that. All right? All right. And then lastly, okay, last thing I want us to do on our practice here is to just tell what are the relationships, right? You got 4 scatter plots. What are the relationships? Is there a positive relationship? Is there a negative relationship? Or is there no relationship? All right? So take a minute, do those on your own really quickly. All right? Hopefully these are pretty straightforward. Positive, negative, or none. For this one, it is, again, it's moving down as you move to the right, so it is a negative relationship. This one, actually number 5, that is, the dots are pretty close together, moving to the up as they move to the right. That is a positive relationship. Okay. 6, these are scattered about, and no real, it's not really, they're not really close together. They're kind of scattered all over. There's no relationship on that one. And then lastly, this one has a negative relationship. And I didn't ask you to do this for these, but would love for you. Try to use a colored pencil or a pen or something, a highlighter, and go ahead and draw a line of best fit down each of these that have a relationship. So for this one, again, if I was doing it about there, right? Again, kind of somewhere in the middle of all of the points. For this one, if I was doing a line of best fit, it would be somewhere like that in the middle, okay? And then for this one, same deal. Again, you want to get it in the middle. That is where it kind of shows the relationships. You're always going to have some points outside of it, but roughly kind of in the middle of all of the points, all right? You've made it to the end, all right? And so this is scatter plots. Again, remember with scatter plots, just knowing what the relationship, being able to determine if it's a positive or negative relationship, or is there no correlation, and then being able to define or find the line of best fit, just looking to find what is the line that kind of is in the middle, goes through the middle of all of the points and kind of brings, shows the relationship. All right, so you are going to spend some more time practicing. There's a Desmos activity for you to do after this, and happy practicing. And yeah, let me know if you have any questions, comment, like it, and we out.